Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room.
After graduation. Correct? O hindi naman talaga. Teka lang ha. Ayaw niyang mag-share. I don't know why. There. Wait. Ulit. So, this afternoon, we're going to discuss what really should you do in law school. Tignan natin kung kakayanin ba. Okay. There it goes. Ayan. Yan. Is it reflected now? Okay. So, the talk is entitled Law School Really? Okay. And, ano ba? When I chose my course in college, it is with the long-term plan of really entering law school. Okay. And back then, I was not aware that there is a legal management. Walang legal studies talaga. In fact, until now, tayo pa lang yata sa Lyceum ang may legal studies. No? But we have legal management already. I think in UST they have one. Also in LaSalle, they have legal management. The same with Ateneo Law School. Okay. In UP, walang legal management, but only political science. What else? I'm not sure with other schools, but I see political science as their preparatory course. Okay. But here in Lyceum, we have legal studies. And when I entered LPU in 2014 or 13, if I'm not mistaken, I'm initially not aware that we have a legal studies course, no? Because I applied under the College of Business Administration, teaching also law subjects to our accountancy students and BA students. So when I learned that we have a law school and we also have legal studies, then I was excited, no, for our students. Why? Because it is something that will really prepare the students to enter law school. No? Political science in LaSalle was kind of tweaked. No, the curriculum was kind of tweaked to be a preparatory school, preparatory course for law. No, but it's not supposed to be a preparatory course for law because political science is an entirely different thing, no? From legal management or legal studies. So, yeah. Iba siya talaga. Okay? So, let's see. Okay. The decision to apply. No? The first, of course, is your personal circumstances. There are, for me, three types of students who, nagre-reflect ba yung screen ko? Is it reflecting? Or hindi siya nagbo-move sa inyo?
Nasa first slide pa rin po.
Hi, wait nga. Ano ba yan? Teka lang ha. Stop sharing. Wait. Pag na-stop mo, nagre-reflect agad. What's wrong with you? Okay. Let's do this again. A window. Kasi updated to nasa ano ko for a while. Let me change them. I'll just forward this. Okay. So, parang namang na-log out ako dun sa isa. This is, I don't have an updated PowerPoint. First is when you decide to enter law school, okay, personal circumstances. So three types of students who will enter law school. No? First would be those who after graduation in college would immediately enter law school. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay. Why? Because you have to, as they say, keep the fire burning of your interest in law school. So also you don't want a cut because a cut may pave the way for you to change your mind. Na parang mas masaya naman talaga yung kumikita na ng pera kaysa mag-aaral ako ulit, no? So I mean, it's the same for me, no? Immediately I entered law school after graduation. In fact, medyo late. I was kind of in a limbo then, and I was not super duper prepared. So I went for UST, you know, and I enrolled there. So yeah, these are the people. This is the first person who enters law school. The second would be those who wanted to work first and look into themselves. Do I really want this? Kasi when you're already in, for example, you're in legal studies and it turns out that, you know, studying of law seems not quite interesting for you. No, parang medyo nagkamali yata ako ng decision ng very, very slight. It appears that I don't, you know, law school is not really my thing because I might end up, you know, failing. No, so yeah, no, these are the second type of law students who would just say that okay, I'll work first, and then in their work, no, they would come to realize na ito pala talaga, gusto ko talagang mag-law school kasi when you graduate in college, I mean, what work will you enter into? No? Eh, medyo ano ka, mapangarapin. So you want to be the boss already. You want to be high up there already. So sabi mo, sige nga, mag-law school ako para baka pag lawyer na ako, boss ako agad. Okay, so yeah. Second type of students who want to enter law school. The third would be those who took up a different course in college. No? Probably an engineering course, probably a CPA course, probably I have a friend who is a graduate of agriculture. I have a friend who's a graduate of nutrition and dietetics, no, in law school. So these are, you know, people who have really no inkling, no, initially to enter law school. No, in fact, this friend of mine who's nutrition and dietetics wanted to pursue medicine, no? But it changed, no, when they're already studying, working, no, and it would appear that they would rather gawin na lang nating manual, that they would rather enter law school because it's more appealing to them and because of the nature of the work. So some of them have worked in a law office, some of them have worked in the government agency under its legal department, and so these are what do you call this? These are students or former students who initially doesn't want to go to law school, but eventually, because of the nature of their work, no, become interested in entering law school. Okay, so yeah, sila yung nag-work na. Alright? Now, so yeah, no, three types of those who would enter law school. Next would be, which law school? Okay? I will not be a hypocrite and tell you na, well, you can, you know, choose the law school that you like. Of course, we're in Lyceum, so the best law school for me now is Lyceum, correct? Well, not only because I am in Lyceum, but because we have painstakingly made sure that when you enter LTU law, we will be preparing you for the bar examinations. So this is our thrust in LTU, no, that we would be able to prepare you to get that attorney before your names, and in the process, no, teach you that you should be ethical lawyers when finally you have that title. Okay? Our dean, no, Dean Solmawis is very particular with that. Okay? So yeah. Of course, it's if you're planning to work, no, or you're the second type or the third type of law student or an applicant, no, in the College of Law, then uh, proximity to your workplace, no, would be a factor. No? I mean, of course, if you're going to work somewhere in Makati, we have a Makati campus of LTU. But if you're working somewhere in Quezon City or somewhere in BGC, then there are, or somewhere in Manila where travel time is really a factor, no? Kung pupunta pa kayo ng Makati, because, traffic is the in thing in the Philippines. So, you would have to consider those. Okay, I would, due to my status, no, in the College of Law, I would not be recommending other school, no, but it's for you to find out, no. But I think my consideration for that, no, other than the proximity, is the reputation of the law school. How do they, when I say reputation, how do they train their students? What are their values, no, in training? What style do they use, no, in training the students? Of course, the ultimate goal, no, when you enter law school is to graduate and take the bar. No? But there are other law schools whose market is not really to take the bar exams, because some of them are already working in the government and they just wanted the degree so that they could get a promotion. So instead na mag-MA sila, instead na mag-doctorate sila, diretsuhin na natin na 4 years law school tayo. No? Let's get a Juris Doctor. So by the way, hindi na LLB ngayon ang degree natin. Okay? Because of the issuance of the Legal Education Board, no, all law schools degree is a Juris Doctor. Wala na tayong Bachelor of Laws. Okay? Yeah. Allow me to drink first this free coffee from CITHM because it's CITHM Day. Okay. So there, no, you have decided which law school already. Next would be, what are the requirements? Okay. So, dahil mamanually natin, para meron pa rin tayong slide kahit ayaw niyang wait lang. Requirements. No, ayan. Okay. There. Requirements. No, ayaw kasi niya pag sina-slideshow, hindi siya nag-share. So, admission details and requirements, of course, you have your TOR. But if you're applying here, no need to get that because it would be preposterous to issue and accept the TOR when the issuing office and the accepting office is just one. So, kakaiba yan. Of course, you have the Philippine Statistics Authority birth certificate. I'm not sure if you've read in the news or if you've watched in the news that our Senator Bodot's Bong Revilla has sponsored a bill which has passed the final reading in the Senate, saying that the lifetime of a PSA issued birth certificate is lifetime. So if you're keeping a PSA, if you're prudent enough to get a PSA birth certificate, there's no need to get a new one. Kasi usually, yung mga requirements, especially for passport, no, and other government submissions, laging nakalagay doon, latest PSA birth certificate. So kahit kumuha ka siguro mga 3 years ago, hindi yun latest. Gusto nila just a few months or just a month, no? From the time that you have, or before the time that you have submitted it. So yan, Certificate of good moral character, you get it from your school. Of course, if you're enrolling in LTU, then that's way. and your 2x2 ID photo. Why do we need this? Tinitingnan namin kung nagbabago ba yung tsura ng estudyante pagkatapos mag-law school. Kung gumaganda ba sila o pumapangit sila, hindi, joke lang. What, what we really wanted is just your identification. We use this during deliberations. In fact, minsan, pag ginagamit namin yung photo sa deliberation ng fourth year, parang hindi na rin namin sila nakikilala kasi either nagpo-flourish sila or hindi nga nagpo-flourish. So, nasa-stress ang itsura nila. That's why we're getting a photo. But this is merely for identification purposes. Okay? So, yan, for freshmen. Hindi ko na i-discuss yung for transferees kasi hindi naman kayo transferees, no? But we also have requirements for transferees. Okay? Of course, I'm sure you're interested to know this one. Scholarships and discounts. So if you're Latin honors, you have summa cum laude 100%, magna cum laude 50% on the tuition fee. And then please take note of the provisos, that the student must carry a full load for the entire year. And then cum laude is 50% also. Free tuition fee for 1 academic year. And then if you're an LPU alumni, ito yung pinakamaganda. You have a 15% discount on tuition fees per semester yan. So, yan. Very, very handsome offer. Okay. Next. There. Ayan. Delivery of instruction. So, in law school life, you have to consider these things. Halimbawa, nakasubmit na kayo na requirements, di ba? Ito na yung iisipin nyo. Or in fact, you may want to think about this first before really submitting those requirements. Ano ba ang instruction sa law school? I mean, you have lawyer professors, correct? And, teka lang, let me get my water. Masyado palang matamis yung ano. Okay. You have lawyer professors, but please take note that their treatment to you in college would not be the same treatment that they will give to you if ever they will be your instructor or professors in law school. Sila ay nagta-transform. Okay? Because law school is different. You must be trained differently in law school, no, as compared to college kahit pa nag-legal studies ka. Although, siguro yung iba, the same treatment. Okay? But definitely, you will encounter different types of professors in law school. Okay? So, yan. Gusto ko itong minanual ko talaga siya. Okay. There you go. Classes, no, in law school is Mondays to Saturdays. Usually, if in Lyceum, no, we're very working friendly kasi I think 80%, if not 90%, are working students. So our classes from Mondays to Fridays would start 5:30 or 6 p.m. until 9 p.m., no, depending on the units. Okay? Saturdays is whole day. No Sunday classes because we don't have executive class, no. I think there's only one law school who's offering a Saturday Sunday schedule. It's Arellano, no. If you're familiar with it, sila lang yata yung may executive class na napayagan kasi matagal na yun sa kanila. So, but hindi na yata siya allowed ngayon ni Legal Education Board ang executive class. Although some of your professors might be requesting for a makeup class on Sundays. So, usually naman, hindi sila nagpapa-attendance. Pero pag hindi ka umattend, sayang naman yung lecture. Diba? I mean, when you enter law school, your mindset is always to learn. Okay? So, yeah. And your mindset should always be, I need to read. Okay? So, yan. Read ka talaga dyan. Aral ka talaga dyan. So, if your not really fond of reading, then you'll have a problem. You'll have a problem. I'll tell you as early as now, if you're not fond of reading, then you'll have a problem. It could also be, kasi available na siya. If you're an auditory learner, there are online lectures. There is a subscription on LegalWiz of, I think, audio lectures. Okay, so yan, pwede yan. Tsaka nakakakuha sa black market niya. When I say black market, yung bigay ng mga friends, okay, na estudyante sa law school ng ibang school, and kahit iba yung lecturer nila, at least instead of you reading, you're just hearing it, no? As I understand, yung generation nyo, some are really auditory learners, no? Ako kasi ay visual, so I really need to see a paper in front of me. I need to highlight. I need to highlight. I need to mark it. So yeah, okay. Methods of instruction. You're familiar with the Socratic method. Okay? Kaupo lang si teacher. Nagsashuffle ng class card at tinatawag ang pangalan nyo. So para kayong mananalo. Ang feeling nito para kayong mananalo ng beauty pageant. Okay? Yan ang feeling sa law school. No? Pwede, yun nga lang hindi kayo pwedeng maghawak-hawak ng kamay. Kasi magtataka yung professor, ba't kayo naghahawak-hawak ng kamay? Pero ganun yung feeling niya. Para kayong mananalo ng pageant kasi hindi mo alam sinong mabubunot. Okay? So kung dito sa Lyceum, medyo konti lang kasi yung estudyante, no? But we're looking into having more enrollees, no, this year. Mabilis ang ikot ng recitation. But there are professors na hindi kayo maliligtas sa isang araw. So lahat, sinisigurado ng professors na matatawag kayo sa isang buong period. Especially if your class is 5 units or 3 units, 4 units yan, siguradong matatawag talaga kayo. So, every meeting, you must be prepared. Ganyan. So, yan, Socratic is more of a question and answer type. No? Of course, you have blended learning also, which was invented during this pandemic. Why? Because, magtataka kayo, bakit sa law school may blended learning? No? Because of the screen time. Okay? Some professors recognize that too much screen time will burn up your brains. And so they give asynchronous lessons. No? So, I, for one, would give asynchronous activities to my students. But these are asynchronous activities that would be thought-provoking. Okay? Hindi siya, halimbawa, in one of my classes, obligations and contracts, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Flipgrid. Okay, it's an app. It's actually connected to your Office 365, and you can you can have an account, no, under your Office 365. These are 1-minute videos, and so I asked them to recite cases, no. So magre-record ka ng sarili mo. Diretso na yun, nakasubmit sa account ng class, discussing the cases. So, kailangan magkakasya sa 1 minute yung case na inassign ko sa inyo. Okay? So, that's just one case. No? So, pagalingan yan how to explain. Because sometimes, students would be shy in discussing cases in front of, or kahit virtually in front of the class. So, tingnan natin. Let's see what you're made of if it's not in front of the class. So yeah, outcome-based, of course, no? At the end of the day, what we want is that you will learn, no? We want to see how much you have learned. No? So yeah, kaya tayo may outcome-based also. Okay? Next. Course, you have instruction tools. We also use My LPU as submission and your Office 365. But in LPU, it's not required. No. In other schools, I think in UP, they also have their LMS. And it's optional, but the majority of the professors, especially those young ones, would use the LMS for submission. So sa LPU, it's also optional. other platforms may be used. But since the students are paying for this, kaya in-encourage namin ng professors to use the MyLTU. Okay. Next. You have, of course, our Academic Resource Center. The picture on top is the entrance to the library of our Makati campus. And below is, you're very familiar with it, that is our ARC, or the Academic Resource Center. I'm sure for the third year and fourth year students, you know that we have a SCRA collection. So Supreme Court reports annotated. We have our law textbooks. I have just made a request for the upgrading of our law textbooks. We have our journals, government issuances, and publications. Now, our e-resources, we have online database, information, and repositories. Okay, let me show you, ha. Wait, ano ba itong meron tayo lahat? This one. So we have CDation Online, the Supreme Court e-library. See, Supreme Court e-library, you can have your own account, no, for Supreme Court e-lib, so that you can access cases, no, on your own and print it. No? Yung iba kasi, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. There are apps na PDF apps wherein you can download, you can highlight, you can put a comment, no? So that was my dream when I was in law school. Sabi ko, gawin ko kaya siyang business, no? Pag pag lawyer na ako. Kaya lang, naging busy sa hearing, so hindi ko na rin siya naasikaso. But it has always been a dream because when I was in law school, bitbit namin lahat ng printed cases. I can just imagine how big our case file is. No? So yeah. Of course, we have yung academic one file. These are foreign resources. Itong nasa baba. Yan, nasa baba. So if you're researching for international law, then these are available resources na meron tayo. Why? Because if you go below 12 per semester, you would be finishing law school in 7 years' time. And by the time na mag-bar ka, nabago na lahat ng mga laws, nabago na lahat ng rulings, so you're going to review back to square one. Okay? Law school, in my opinion, and based on the observations that I have with my students rather, and my stay in the College of Law, dapat maximum 5 years. So that when you review and take the bar examination, na-retain mo pa din what you have reviewed during your first year. And laws are not overturned, no? Pag kasi 7 years, madami yung laws na na-overturn, lalo na ngayon, daming nagre-revise, rulings are overturned, so mag-confuse ka na. So dapat maximum 5. Things less off their minds and they can just focus on studying. So purely volunteer work ito, no? But it's a good experience because you see how your upperclassmen prepare for the bar examination. So, okay, kaya nakakatuwa siya. Also, it's good karma kasi kadalasan yung mga tumutulong sa bar, pumapasa din sa bar exams. So, yun ang sabi nila, no? Because not someone who believes in karma, but with hard work and all that, in the grace of our Lord. But yun nga, they say that, well, for me, this is you're here because of the experience. Okay? We have the ACADS committee. Yung ACADS committee naman would prepare the last minute tips. No? Hindi yan kodigo ha, last minute tips ang tawag yan kasi hindi naman yan nabubuksan during the bar examination. Last minute tips, the purpose of it is pag nag-breakfast ka or habang naghihintay ka, papasukin kayo sa room, sa bar examination room, nagbabasa-basa ka in the hope that itong mga hinulaan ng mga professors mo na baka lumabas sa bar ay sumakto because you remember the last thing that you have seen or you have read, di ba? So ginagawa namin dyan, ako I'm under commercial law and civil law. Okay? So, based on my experience as an academician, at yung mga nababasa kong bar examinations before, no? Because sinaabangan namin yan every year. At yung mga previous way, mga 10 years ago, 20 years ago bar examination questions, ano kaya dito ang lalabas? Of course, having in mind yung mga chismis, kasi hindi nyo alam kung sinong bar examiners nyo. It's top secret. Pero syempre, no, ang daming marites. So, yung mga chismis, kung sino yung mga bar. So, there is a judge who would, hindi lang pala, there are 3 judges usually, who would interpolate you on the topic to test your arguments or to test whether or not you have researched enough, no, on this matter, on whether you have research on an international treaty or an international law, no, on the topic. So yeah, it's a good exercise because it sharpens your mind. It teaches you a lot of discipline. So that's why, no, we do this in the College of Law. Prior to the pandemic, 2 years kami nang nagpapadala ng mga students natin sa Germany. So yes, nakakagala sila there. So we give them an extended stay. Pinapanglimos namin yung mga yan kasi ang mahal papunta Germany. So what I mean is, we raise funds for them sa kung saan-saan so that we can send them there. So if you will see the photo, ilan ba sila? 2, 4, 6. No? 6 usually. Yan. Yung first delegation natin, isa tayong lalaki, si attorney, sa lawyer now, Attorney Brian Tomas. Itong mga nasa photo na to, I'm not sure lang with this one, kung kasi wala na siya sa Lyceum. But the rest are already lawyers. So yan, no? Magandang training yan for them. No? If I may say, no, itong mga nasa photos na to are brilliant students that I have in the College of Law so far. Okay? Next would be our Makati naman. Sa Makati, we have we have prize moot court. Usually, ang Asian rounds ay done. So, Asian rounds, meaning you'd be competing with the rest of the schools, no, in Asia, in Asia Pacific rather, Asia Pacific. And then you would be, yung mananalo sa Asia Pacific rounds would be sent, yung 1 to 3, no, would be sent to the national rounds in London. So yan, napapadala din namin sila dyan. Napapagawa pa namin sila ng pare-parehong suit, yung mga ganon. So ganyan namin ini-effort yan. It's a good experience also because you're going to be in London, probably visit the Queen thereafter, no? So yeah, I think in 2018 we have champion tayo over UP and 2 other Philippine law schools sa Asia Pacific round ng prize moot court. 2019 I think we're 3rd. So napadala din ulit natin sila sa London. For our Nuremberg, tayo ay naging first and only Philippine law school to qualify in the top 20. 100 plus law schools yan, yung sa Nuremberg. We also have the highest graded memorials in top 18, no, noong 2019, if I'm not mistaken. And then sa Stetson, we are the 4th oralist. Yung Stetson is done in UP. Okay. Prize moot court. And then meron pa tayong isa, yung Jesup moot court. But it's not often that we join it. Gusto talaga natin yung pumupunta pa ng ibang bansa. No? Jesup is done also here in the Philippines. Ang sponsor niyan ay si Attorney Nilo Divina of Divina Law. Okay? So yan, moot court. What else? This one. This one naman ay ano ba to? This one is we were in ANC debate. We won the best speaker here. Itong nasa gitnang to. Yan. Si Nix. Yan. Best speaker siya sa ano yan, sa round na yan. Yan, si Nix. So yan, taga Cavite. The two others are from, hindi pala, All Cavite team pala yan. Okay. This one, this one is our IHL, no? International Humanitarian Law Moot Court Competition. This one naman is done in Ateneo. Ay, mali pala. Ateneo. Okay. Next would be Ades. Baka naman, ayaw nyo ng masyadong limelight and therefore, you want to be writing more. You can also join our LPU Law Journal. So if you're interested kung ano yung, what is Law Journal, no? It's a compilation of legal articles. Of course, depende sa theme, no? For a particular year. So this would be a writing, of course, no? This would call for writing skills, writing and legal research skills. So yan, I've written, I think, aling law journal ba ako nagsulat? I think 2019, 2020 law journal ako nagsulat. No? I talked about Philippine competition law. So yan. It's a mixture of writings from the students and the professors. So, ganda yan na nandyan. Pwede nyo yun ilagay sa resume nyo. The same with participation in the bar. Kung halimbawa, ahead ka ng isang committee sa bar examination. So, pwede yan. You can write it on your CVs later on. Okay? And then, we now go to the contact details of course, your professors. And we are one in our intention to have a tracking on your on-the-job training. So, at the initial part of your OJT, we would be either interviewing you or asking you to submit a form to know which track you're planning to take. Are you entering law school immediately after graduation? Are you planning to work? If you're planning to work, are you planning to work private or government? Or you just want to stay home in the meantime and chill? You'll see. No? And then, we will have matching of those tracks. So you don't come to me and tell me na attorney, ang gusto ko po talaga ay mag-law school after. Pero, mag-OJT po sana ako ay sa office ng nanay ko. I mean, after you, pag tinanong ko, ano yung office ng nanay mo? Beauty salon po. Doon po ako sa management na there's nothing wrong with the beauty salon, but it doesn't match the track that you told me. So I cannot allow you to just perform your OJT there, no? When I think that this is not compatible with your track. Okay? You can also have mixed tracks. So, kasi 600 hours tayo, di ba? And we allow that na mix, no? 300 sa isang institution, 300 sa another institution. So, if you're telling me, want to experience po sana working both in the government and the private sectors, then we can do that. Okay? Pwede natin yan gawin. But industry partners, well, we have partnership with TTI, no? You can go under the legal department of TTI. Natanong ko na yan sa kanila. We can also have a partnership with the Department of Labor and Employment. Naku, marami kayong matututunan dyan, no? Especially when it comes to the mediation of cases. If you want to experience working in a law office, then pwede din, no? We can have you do your OJT in a law office. You can also have your OJT in the legal department of our provincial government or the government of or the city government of General Trias. So pwede din yan if you want it mixed. But another option for you is, no, you can do partial of your time with our Office of the Legal Aid, which is under the College of Law. This is a law office type, no, wherein Our law students would be, kasi required na siya starting 2023 bar that you have performed legal internship. So that's why we're opening the Office of the Legal Aid of Lyceum of the Philippines College of Law Cavite, wherein we would be taking in indigent clients and we would be attending to their cases. So you have heard Attorney J. De Guzman, no, lecture, no, in your property. He is our legal aid supervisor. So yeah, he would be managing our law students. I think last March 9, we had our first online consultation. That's also our launching of the LOLA, the legal, ano nga ba ibig sabihin yan? Lyceum Office of the Legal Aid. Yan, LOLA. So, Lyceum Office of the Legal Aid. Yan. So, we have a separate office na, from the one in Makati naman, which would be under Attorney Warren Concepcion. So, yan. Yan ang ating mga opportunities for practicum and OJT. Okay? I think this is my last slide. Yeah, kasi ang last na ay this one. So, it says, take the lead, choose LP. So, yeah.
May 2022 via Google Meet. Thank you po.
We appreciate the effort